Alright, hopefully we're good. Hopefully everything's good. Welcome back to the JA3G channel. I'm your host, JA3G. And here I got my first special guest for an interview. First one. So, I feel special. Got Mockton here. So I decided to, reach out to him and reach out to a few other people, seeing if they want to do an interview and kind of go through their process of what it was like, being in the studio, going through certain thoughts. And kind of how they got to where they're at. Everybody has a different journey. I know me and him stopped talking for a few years. But recently, through a friend of a friend, I was able to, get up to him. And here we are.
Here we are, man.
All right. So I got some loaded questions here. He hasn't seen the questions, just so you guys know. All right. I have to disclaimer that shit. All right. But we'll go with the first question, because this music shit for me, when I seen him do it for the first time, I was completely, I didn't even know what the hell you were doing. I was like, man, this man's doing music now? It was a real shock, but at the same time, I was like, he kind of can do it. So I was like, let him try it and see what happens, which is why I still got Swamp on my new hits. I that shit's way up there, bro. I freaking jam it. It's fun. But first question, when you did make your what's it called? When you did make your first beat, what did it feel like to finally put something orchestrated together and for it to sound good?
Shit, well, first of all, my first beat didn't even sound good. Get that out of the way. And I ain't gonna lie, my first fucking 100 beats probably took so long to make, probably more than a day to make. My first beat, I'm telling you, that shit was probably just sampled. Like, the melody.
Just layered samples over it?
So
yeah.
Somebody else made it, I was just stacking on top of the stack, on top of the stack. My first beat, basically, but not even my beat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's how it is. That,
I mean, I don't even know how to use the software. I didn't even know how to make a beat. I was on YouTube watching how to make a beat while trying to make a beat.
Yeah. So,
I mean, if it felt good, though, because it was like, man, so this is how it's, this is not how it's done, right? But that's how it starts.
Yeah.
That's what I was like, this is how it starts.
That's the benefit for you, because there's only few artists. There's not many, but I know there's few of them that actually completely create their stuff start to finish.
Mm-hmm.
I know Hobson's one of them. If you ever heard of Hobson,
yeah.
He does all his shit start to finish, which I think is cool. But you also got to have the mind for it, and you got to be creative with it. I can't do that shit. I'll be straight honest. Yeah. I got someone else for that.
Yeah, I mean, over time, I started, like as of now, I started getting away from the samples and started trying to learn more on how to create my own stuff. Try to create my own instruments, my own drums. It's all about finding the sounds, because there's millions of sounds out there. There's so many sounds.
Mm-hmm.
It's just about being able to find the ones that just sound good.
Yeah. They sound good, and they sound good for what you're doing, too.
Yeah. Quality sounds, real sounds. There's a lot of fake sounds, you could say. A lot of computer sounds,
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, and I've seen them, too. I have FL Studio.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen that shit, too. And I every time I open that program to record a song, I'm like, what the hell am I pushing? There's just so many buttons.
Yeah.
I normally just hit record, and if I have to use the auto-tune or whatever, besides that, I'm using GarageBand on my phone.
Yeah.
Because I can't manage that shit.
Actually, I started on GarageBand.
That's where, I don't know if you remember Jeremiah, but that's where he started his music, was on GarageBand.
Yeah. When I started making beats, it was on GarageBand on the school iPad. That's where that started.
That's where it started, folks.
Like one of the worst beats of all time.
Yeah.
But it was my first, so.
Hey, man, you gotta start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
You completely gotta start somewhere.
Yeah. After that transition, away from GarageBand, and then I started messing around with Ableton Live or whatever. I didn't really like that interface. So then I heard of Fruity Loops. I was like, let me check it out. And I checked it out, and that one just kind of clicked with me, bro. I picked that up quick. And right now, I'm transitioning into Pro Tools now, which is like more advanced than Fruity Loops.
Oh, no, man.
I just recorded 2 days ago, I just recorded 3 songs on Pro Tools, not even knowing how to use the software. I'm gonna just click it and see what I do. I busted out 3 songs on it real quick.
That's how it goes, soon. Man. For some people, it could click like that, bro, because I got my guy waiting on me. He's like, man, where's your album? Like, dude, it takes a while, especially for for me, it's more like I wouldn't say it's a hobby, but it's kind of like if I got time, to mess around and try something new, then I'll go ahead and do it. But it's not like something I'm super able to do.
Yeah.
Right? Not like these guys, at least. You know, because I heard this guy's song come out. I'm like, oh shit, man. I'm gonna listen to this, bro. And it's really banging in my car at the same time.
Yeah, that's the one thing. Beat making, you know, because at first, bro, I didn't even want to. All this, the beats and all that, I didn't even want to do all that.
I bet.
I just wanted to rap. I'm like, man, who make beats? Holla at me if you make beats. I got some bars. I'm trying to spit, you know, like holla at me. And then there was this one dude that I met around here wheeling. Motherfucker turned out to be an op, so that shit got killed. And then I was like, I kept posting, bro. I lived for like a month straight. I was posting every day. Who produce? Who know somebody who make beats?
Yeah.
Who know how to do this? Who know how to do that? Then nobody answered me, and I was like hitting up other dudes too and new around here, and nobody wanted to help me. And I was like, man, fuck this shit. I'm gonna do myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
And so now I got into that. I started making beats, and then I uploaded it. My first song that I uploaded was my boy Lil Phantom. Shout out Lil Phantom. It's called Bando. So ugly ass cover. I don't know if you seen it. It's like some house I took out of Google. I just put it in there, and I just started drawing on it with one of those like little color apps and stuff.
Yeah.
Drew stuff on it, but it worked. And we uploaded it right. And that day that we recorded that song, that was my first song I ever uploaded. That one that when we recorded that, bro, it took me. We came into my crib after school one day. We were like lit. We had lyrics written. And like, all right, we about to write a song. We about to record a song. We about to be lit. Open up FL Studio. We're like, so how we get the beat in there? And now we got the beat in there. Now how do we record in here? We pressing the record button and it's not recording.
Yeah.
And then we connect the mic. We looked up a little more YouTube videos. Like an hour passed by already. We're just trying to figure out how to connect the mic. And then we try to record, and for some reason, I think the gain was so loud that everything that we were just saying was
distorted.
It was like extremely distorted, bro. And we're like, what the fuck is going on right now, bro?
Oh, I know what that's like, bro.
So we spent an entire day, a whole day, just trying to make a song.
Yeah.
Didn't even make it. Next day we had to come back to it. A couple more YouTube videos later, we got it out.
Hey man, as long as it comes out, right?
And then that one, there was no engineering. There was no mixing, no mastering. We recorded on top of it. We put the volume up and we threw it out. We didn't know mixing and mastering. We didn't even know that was a thing.
Hey, I didn't know either.
Yeah. I was like, and then somebody told me something about an EQ. I'm like, EQ? What's an EQ? You know, and then you just keep going down that rabbit hole. And to this day, I'm still learning. You know.
I bet you are, Lope. I'd still look at stuff and I'm like, damn, I know I could do that.
Yeah. Like I just got into. There's like one way you can do something, and that's like the normal way, and then there's 30 other ways you can do it with that same thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's just there's so much to learn, so much to do. That's why so many people got their own sound. You know, because maybe I'll make music one way and I'll record one way and you'll do it another.
Yeah.
And that's why you sound the way you sound and I'll sound the way I sound.
Yeah. And you just basically said my next question. Next question was, how long would you say it took for you to find your own style and voice?
I mean, to be honest, I'm still looking for it, you know.
Still on the path?
Yeah, I mean, I started making music around 5-6 years ago. And this whole time, I'm like, I guess you could say I'm kind of a perfectionist. So this entire time I've been trying to learn how to make it sound good instead of just putting stuff out and be like, this is how it sound right now.
Yeah.
Listen to it, you know what I mean? So I took these 5-6 years to learn music production, to learn engineering, mastering, mixing, all of that. And then now I'm finally trying to release a new song, you know? So I think the finding myself and finding my sound comes with releasing and seeing what works and what don't.
Yeah.
You know, because I got songs in the vault. I got reggaeton songs. I got
Yeah.
drill songs. I got trap songs. I got some of them bedroom lo-fi hip-hop songs. And I got some love songs too, man. I'm romantic, you know. I love that. I love that shit. So, I mean, I'm still looking for it.
Yeah, as long as it keeps you happy, right?
Yeah.
As long as it keeps you happy and moving. We got how many questions? Still got 5 more.
Yeah.
Who inspires you and why?
Who inspires me? As in, what musician inspires me?
Yeah, like what musician or like what person in your life inspired you to really put that stuff together?
So, like, start making music. I mean, I always love music. The person who comes to, like, top of my head that inspired me, like, just to begin singing, rapping, whatever, is Bruno Mars, for real. Yeah.
But you know what though, Bruno Mars I feel like is an artist that's living in a different generation somehow making it in this generation.
Yeah, he just,
Like his sound's just completely different compared to what everyone else is, especially for his genre.
yeah, bro. Bruno Mars is just. It's like there's not. You can't hate on him.
No,
What is there hate about?
You really
You know what I
can't.
mean? He's just. There's no words, bro.
No, man. I mean, I get it, and you know, it's
He inspired me to start doing all that music stuff. Like I don't even know when I was in elementary school, we had a talent show. It was like a show and tell or whatever, and I performed one of his songs. When I was your man. I performed that song, right? And that's when I knew I'm like, man, you know what? I'm messing around with this a little bit, you know. I think I was like third grade or something. And then, yeah, after that, some dude came up to me. He gave me like one of the little record label cards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with my parents, like, hey, come sing a little something for us. Like, we want to check you out. And I was like, bet. We went, right? I sang for them. I was literally just in a room. It was like 3 or 4 people. They're like, sing. I was like, okay. I just started singing some shit that I was practicing. And they're like, I bet we like you. We like you. I was like, okay.
I guess.
And then they're like, we want to take you to New York and this, that. But you need to like pay $2,000 or whatever. I'm like, yep, you lost me right there. My parents looked at me like, you lost us right there. We went home. And motherfucker, we didn't even have like one. We didn't even have a stack.
Yeah.
We never had $1,000 to our name back then. I didn't have shit to my name back then. So it was like, one, I was like really young for them to be trying to move me away from my parents all the way over there.
Yeah.
And I had the funds. So, but yeah, bro, that Bruno Mars started it.
Hey man,
Bruno Mars.
That's definitely different because you know you always hear Pac or you know like some rap legend or whatnot, but that's completely different. And I honestly could see why, especially with that that first song coming out, which we'll get to in a minute. Did you believe that your music and passion would grow and come this far?
Nah, bro. Bro, I didn't even think like doing this interview right here. I didn't even think this was gonna be a thing for real. When I started making music, I was like, I'm just do it for fun. I like making songs. I just love music, I'm so passionate about it. I just find it really interesting how people can make different sounds and it just never stops.
Yeah.
There's an infinite amount of sounds that can collide together and it's just like, that sounds good and that sounds good too.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't think it was gonna come this far. I just thought I was gonna be like having a little fun with it, throwing it here, throwing it there. And then people started liking it. I'm like,
well, now we got something going on.
Getting a little traction.
Yeah, now we got something going. It's like the same thing with this, man. This took me, just so you guys know, this YouTube channel would be number 5 that I've created. I failed 4 times. It took me this 5th time to finally break out of where I needed to be. And that's from, doing the same thing you were doing in the music department, just learning, searching, reading stuff and making sure everything abides by the policies because I could say one wrong thing in this video and it could be blocked completely.
Yeah.
But that's the same thing in music, bro. I mean, you got to be, unfortunately, a little censored in an aspect.
Yeah.
I mean, you can express yourself as best as you can, but it's also up to the man above or the man in power that can easily just delete. And it sucks because all that time and everything goes to waste.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, do I really want to do this? Do I not want to do this? It puts you in a spot like that.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I think the music making is more. They don't care about it as much, or not. I don't want to say care, but I feel like in YouTube they're more sensitive than music, because in music, there's a lot of songs out there that say some out of pocket shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Trust, I know.
And in YouTube, you say the littlest out of pocket shit. Yeah, nope, taking that video down.
Yep, that's why I'm waiting, guys. I'm gonna be Twitch streaming eventually. We'll do some Call of Duty maybe. Been a while. But let's keep rolling here. What are we at? Where are we at? 15 minutes. I don't even care as long as it keeps going.
Straight.
What made you feel you needed to release a song on your own? Because I know you guys had the regular M&E, between the two of you guys, and then this kind of came out of nowhere, and I was like, he's by himself.
Mm-hmm.
Are you trying to do something for yourself?
Yeah, man.
What are you trying to accomplish here?
The M&E thing, it started as kind of, both of us, we really connected with Suicide Boys. I don't know if you know Suicide Boys. They're a group who make like rap music, but in their own way.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of look up to them in that sense of like doing something together. Cause Suicide Boys, you know, Ruby and Scream, they just collab so good with each other, and it's like the way that they can make things sound. And also we look up to them because they make their own beats too.
Yeah.
They make everything by themselves. You know, and there was a story where I might not be like 100% accurate, but like Ruby and Scream, they didn't live too close to each other, right? So on the weekends, Ruby would drive like 3 hours up to where Scream was at. She'd stay that weekend or a whole week, and they just bust out a bunch of songs.
Yeah.
And then he'd go back home. But like they were putting in that work from distance.
Yeah.
You know, and then like as of right now, they're one of the biggest independent duos that there is. You know, and that like it really made us want to start doing that together. We're like, man, that's so cool. If they can do it, we can probably do it too. You know, they inspired us to do that.
Yeah.
And we were doing that for a while, and we're still doing it. You know, we just released a song yesterday called Junglewood Freestyle. It's only on SoundCloud though. Because it was a freestyle, you know.
Because I was looking for it on Spotify. I'm like, man, I got to put a reaction video to this now.
No, yeah, that one, it was a freestyle, so we just threw it up. It's like, you know what? Let's just drop it right now. Who cares? I
mean, it makes sense, though, because it's not the same production as, like, a song.
Yeah.
You know, it's a different type of style. And some people like throwing freestyles on their stuff. I don't mind it. I don't care. But in that instance, because you guys have such a solid profile of, like, solid tracks back to back, you know, throwing a freestyle is kind of like, I'm not used to this shit. You know, it would just be a kind of like wild card.
Nah, that's true. So then, and then I just kind of, he was more consistent with his music because he had a lot of more time to himself to actually explore his own sound and collaborate with other people. Whereas in my case, I was really busy with a bunch of other life stuff that kind of just drew me away from music. It was always there, but I didn't have the consistency, and I don't want to say the time, but I just didn't have the focus on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so then, like, I would make my own beats, and I just start writing stuff down. And I'm like, you know what? I'm actually like saying something in these shit that I'm writing down. And I'm telling you, in my notes, I got like my boy calls it a fucking Bible of notes because that shit is mad long. I just got so many lyrics written down. I got so many songs written down. But not one of them is out. Not one of them is recorded.
I got the same thing, man.
You know what I mean?
I got like 4 of them in here that are completely written and everything, and you have the melody, but it's just you don't know how to go about it, or you're just blocked, you know, at a certain point.
So that's why I was like, you know what? Why don't I release something myself? I know I can do it. You know, I got the equipment, I got the creativity, so like why not?
Yeah.
You know, and then just went ahead. Uploaded this one. I didn't expect it to get as much traction as it did, you know, because like the first one that I dropped, I think it got like 5 plays in like 4 months or something. You know, and this one been out not even a full month yet. I think like 2 days makes a month, and it's not a lot, right? But a couple 100 plays already.
Yeah.
So it's not a lot, but it could be nothing. So to me,
yeah, man. I mean, that's a couple 100 people that are either replaying your stuff or new to your stuff. And it makes them hungry.
Yeah, I mean this song that I dropped gave me a lot of traction, and I got a lot of love from people, you know, telling me they really liked it because it was authentic, it was real.
Yeah.
You know, so
that's why I liked it. You know, it spoke more of the truth, you know, about your lifestyle, right, or like what you grew up in, opposed to a lot of the shit that I hear. I'll be honest, is kind of garbage. But that's the nature of the new rap style. You know, they really don't care to come out and say something that's meaningful. And that's why a lot of you know I'm a big Dax guy, right? I like Dax because he says a lot of real stuff. 95% of his stuff is real. You know, I like Hobson, another person, real with his stuff, right? There's a lot of artists, I believe, that aren't getting the recognition that they deserve.
Yeah.
And it's just because they don't have the sound that Future does or that Drake does or, you know, Migos or whatever. And it's literally just because of that. You know, people want the music that is honestly just talking about garbage the whole time. And a lot of these female rappers that I keep hearing coming up, Ice Spice and Cardi B and everything, I haven't heard them say a legitimate like sentence that made sense to me and was actually powerful to me. You know, it was just straight like complete garbage to me. You know, I just don't care for it. You know,
I mean,
and when you come out with something like this, you know, Coming Home, not only does the title make you seem interested, but you start going through the thoughts, you know, when you're, you know, going through the song and you're really thinking about it, you're like, man, you come from a place that's like really harsh.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I put a lot into that song. I try to, A lot of people see it. It's a 2 minute 58 second song. They're like, that shit's garbage, But that 2 minute 58 second song took me 6 months to do.
Yeah.
I don't know, to give or take 6 months, but there's people that put in a whole year of work for a 3 second moment just for you to listen to them.
Yeah.
3 minutes of your life don't take much,
No, I don't take that's man, at work that ain't nothing. That's walking back and forth. But that answers that question. So that took what, about 6 months to make this? 6 or 7 months?
Yeah, dude, I had this beat. Like, I had this beat just sitting on my phone. A year later, I'm like, why didn't I write for it? And then, like, 6 months later, I recorded it. It just...
Damn, so this beat, you've had this beat made already for...
this beat has been sitting.
For like 2 years.
On my phone, yeah. Like, shout out my cousin out of Texas, Ralphie G, sent me the beat and shit. And, like, I just had it there, bro. It's just been sitting on my phone.
Yeah.
I've listened to it a couple times, like, this is good, this is hard. Maybe I'll do something to it, but... Like I said, I never really had the consistency.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to, one of my New Year's resolutions, you could say, try to be more consistent with this music stuff because, I ain't really all that, but shit, I got a little something. You know what I mean?
But would you say it's like, kind of like writer's block that comes up sometimes?
Not exactly, because it's not like I ever have trouble writing lyrics or making something. I just have the trouble being consistent with it. Because it's just... the fact that you gotta go in, and I feel like it's a little more weight on my head because I'm doing it all myself compared to other people. Like, someone just gotta go to the studio.
Yeah.
So they have the beat made by somebody already.
Yeah.
They go to somebody else's studio. They already got the equipment. They just have to spit, and then they leave. Like, all right, let me know when it's done. They pay them, and that's it, right? But me, I gotta make the beat. I gotta write the lyrics. I gotta mix it, I gotta master it, I gotta promote it, I gotta make my cover art, I gotta distribute it, I gotta do all that myself, so it just puts a little more weight on my head, but, I feel like I'd rather go through that struggle than having somebody else do my shit,
Yeah.
I like being independent. It makes me feel like I'm putting in the work that not many other people are.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people out there that are doing the same as me.
Yeah.
But it's all about putting the work in, man.
There's a lot of people that are out there that can do it, but... You can do it, but the question is, are you good at it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anybody can start a YouTube channel, but are you going to get subscribers? Anybody can rap, but is someone going to listen to you?
Yeah.
Right? It's the same concept. A phlegm stuck in my throat, man. Been like that for the past week. We'll keep moving here. Let's see what we got. Were you hesitant knowing there are many other rappers and how you were going to make your stuff stand out?
Not really, because there is a lot of other rappers out there, but I feel like music, it connects to people more when they can actually feel it. Like, I can listen to 100 songs straight, and the 103rd song, I'll be like, I actually like this one more than the other ones. It's like when you're reading a book. You can read a book, like in school, they'll make you read a book, and you can read all those pages, and you'll just be reading them, but you're not understanding them.
Yeah.
And you listen to a bunch of songs, or you'll be listening to them, but not taking them in.
You're blanking out.
And then you listen to a good song, you're like, hold on, I like this. Yeah. So I feel like if I can make something that people can relate to and like, coming where I'm coming from, there's a lot of people that have gone through worse things than me. So I could be some kind of voice or something like that. You feel me?
Yeah. No, it makes total sense because there's and believe it or not, there's a lot of people, especially those people watching. We all look up to someone. Whether it's a family member, whether it's enthusiast, entrepreneur, whatever, we all look up to someone for some type of guidance, for some type of, you're doing it, why can't I do it, right? And it's it puts a fire inside of us. The only problem is a lot of people lose that fire, right? And when they lose that fire, they lose the hope, and when you lose the hope, you're back at square one, and it sucks. I can't even tell you how many times I've opened up, to record a song in FL Studio, beats loaded, mics connected, everything, and I'm blank. I'm looking at it, I'm like, dude, what just happened? The lyrics are even there, and I just can't get it out. I just can't even record. But it's like, why am I hitting that point? What's making me get to that point of stopping? Why I'm right there. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know if you've heard the saying, but it's like, God gives you all the ingredients to make a cake. The eggs, the flour, the the batter and everything, and then you look at it and you just walk away, right? Like he gave you all the materials to make it, and you kind of just said, I'm not gonna do it.
It's up to you to cook, man.
Yeah. So it's that it's that same kind of concept. Let's see here. What's the next one? When it comes to rap, what does it do for you? Does it make you mentally more stable? Does it kind of like hit home a little bit when you're writing? Like, what does it make you feel when you're out there, making beats and writing lyrics?
I feel like writing lyrics is one of the most healthier things in my life that I do, if that's even a way to saying it.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's so much that goes on in my head, you know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of people can relate to this when I say it. It's like, there's so much stuff that you gotta say, or you want to say, and they just don't come out. Bottling them all up or whatever. And to me personally, like making music, it's just, I feel like all them thoughts, all them feelings, all whatever it is stuck in my head, I can just throw it out. I just write it down.
Yeah.
And that person has helped me a lot. If I don't write something down, even when I'm taking in information, even when I was in school or whatever, you could give me a whole hour lecture, but if I don't write down nothing in that hour lecture, I ain't gonna be able to. Like, it's just gonna be stuck in my head. It's just gonna mess with me later on. So I feel like all my emotions, everything that be going on in my head, the rap just helped me lay it out and kind of attack my problems, attack my trauma, whatever it is. Because there'll be a lot of things that people will go through and never say anything about it, but they think about it on a daily basis. Or sometimes they don't think about it, and out of nowhere it just hits them all at once.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like making music for me, it stops me from keeping all that in and like writing it down. So I kind of feel like it's like therapy in a sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't feel like I need therapy or whatever. But doing that kind of just helps me get all them craziness that's going on inside my head out.
Yeah. It's a release, from everything. Would you say you're like completely zoned out, when you're writing stuff or like making beats and stuff like that?
Yeah, there be times it's like getting in that flow. Sometimes when I be writing, sometimes I write to a beat and I'll just be spitting on the beat. But sometimes it'll be like 2 a.m. I'm just laying up. I can't go to sleep because I'm feeling so many things. I don't even know what I'm feeling, but I'm feeling something, So I just start writing and writing and writing. I'll be writing to the complete sound of silence.
Yeah.
Just laying down, and I just be writing things about a situation that I've been through, something that happened that day or happened a year ago. I'm feeling this way about that. You know what I mean? So
whatever you're feeling,
out,
whatever you're feeling in that moment is kind of like what you're writing about, or like how you're going about your next, song or whatnot.
Yeah.
Because I know this. I thought about it more when this song released and I listened to it for the first time. I thought it was more heartfelt than anything.
Yeah.
It more hit for you. It was more personal. And honestly, that's very hard as an individual to do, to make it, and then to release it. It's extremely hard because there's gonna be people that are gonna be like, oh well, I don't give a fuck about your life. I don't care about what you're doing or how hard it's been for you. And it's honestly, these types of songs are honestly not meant for the audience.
Yeah.
They're meant for the artist themselves, right? Because it means more to that person than it will to the 10 million people listening, right? So when you put, that kind of heartfelt stuff into it, what made you kind of want to release this as your first one? Because I'm sure you had other ones that you were thinking about.
But I had a lot, bro.
But what made you want to pick this one rather than, all the other ones?
I feel like this one was more. I want to say it was better than the other ones, right? Because I think they all good equally. But I feel like this one was more. Like, you could listen to it, and there won't be some generic bullshit like, oh, that nigga he talking about guns, he talking about drugs, he talking about hoes, It's just like, he talking about himself, like, what he got to say, This one, it just made me, I felt this one. There was some bars in there that when I was writing them, or when I was performing them, I get like I start feeling like I need to tear up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, no, that song meant a lot to me because it just meant everything that I was feeling in that time, my time being gone. Because I wrote this song when I was back in New Mexico. I wrote some of that over there, and the rest of it I was writing like while at work. And I'll just be working and I'm feeling stuff, and I just gotta write it. And so then like writing this one just kind of made me feel like, you know what, this is how I'm feeling at this moment. That I'm coming back home. That's why it's coming home. You know, those songs basically about living over there for a year, and then coming back over here and like everything has changed, or something stayed the same, but nothing was good. You know, nothing changed for the better.
I mean,
and if something stays the same over that period of time, obviously it's not good. You know, so
yeah,
I feel like this one was more heartfelt. This one was more expressed of how I was feeling at the time. That I'm like, you know what, I need to release it right now, because if I release it later, it's not gonna be the same that if I release it at this time, because that's how I'm feeling right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's where I'm at right now, so I need to release it right now. That's how that one came out.
No, it makes sense. You know, now you guys see the background of, you know, what he was thinking about, because he could have released this, right? And they're like, oh, well, it's released February 8th. The date doesn't matter to you guys. It matters more to him. Right, you know, you're coming back home. You're coming back to, you know, this new place, and it's kind of like being at school for the first time in a new school. It's foreign, you know. It's different. You don't know what's going on until you survey the land, right? I think pretty good questions, man. Took me a few minutes to do these questions. It's crazy. Do you have anything in place for future releases?
Yeah, I got my next song's coming out this month on the 31st.
On the 31st?
Yeah. And then after that, in the month of April, I plan on dropping like 2 or 3 songs, just back to back. I just plan to just drop them because I'm trying to build up my profile a little bit. You know what I mean? So with this one, I kind of just dropped it and wanted to give y'all a little sense of where I'm at in this point in my life. And the next ones, I'm just giving y'all what I've been working on. And I ain't gonna lie, I be talking my shit on my other song. You know, this one's a little. That's why when people heard this one, they was like, man, I don't really expect this side from you. You know, but so now the side that you do expect, you finna find out what that is, brother.
I mean, that's the beauty of art, right? That's the beauty of being an artist. You know, I encourage, you know, you talk your stuff once in a while, or you want to release something, you know, that's off the wall. I expect it. I expect it from everybody. But the question is that gonna take you over? You know what I mean? Are you gonna get stuck in that, you know, mentality of, hey, I need this to be relevant, or should I go back to something that's like, you know, more meaningful to me, right? And there's many people that do that, right? Or they try a new style and it flops. Yeah. I mean, people just don't like the sound. But there's not really much you could do about that, right? It's just moving forward from that. I know this stuff takes a while for those of you that have not tried making music. The beat was written for you said about 2 years ago. The song was written about 6 months ago, and it just released about a month ago now.
Yeah.
So about 2 days from a month. So it took about 1.5 years just for this song to be completely put together.
But I mean, that was just me though. You know, there's some, like I'm telling you, it's consistency, bro.
Yeah.
There's some people that can finish a song in a day. There's some people that can't finish it until 2 years. You know, I just let time do its thing, man. You know, just let it do its thing. I try not to rush none of my projects, none of my music, because there's no point in rushing it. You know, I'd rather create quality and give you a couple quality pieces than a bunch of generic garbage. Quantity. You know what I mean? Quality over quantity, man.
Yeah, that's why I'm tired. I'm honestly over these. I don't know if you've recorded any of these, but just so you know, I'm so against songs that are like 1 minute and 30 seconds, 1 minute and 4. I'm so over it, bro. Because by the time you finally like get into this, it's over.
Yeah.
Like, so like I feel that like a 3-minute song, you know what you got here, that should be the standard for any type of rap or any type of song. You know, and even if you want to make a long intro, you could take a whole minute. I don't care. But 3 minutes is like a good stopping point. You know, anything after, you kind of feel like, holy crap, it's still going. Anything before, you're like, man, this shit ended quick. Like, you know what I mean? It's like a perfect in between.
Except that Jay-Z and Justin Timberlake song, Holy Grail. That song's 7 minutes.
That's ridiculous.
Right, but it's.
I mean, it's good, but like,
it's class.
You know, it's there's some songs that could pull it off. You know, going for that long, like Eminem's "Stan." That song's like what 6.5 minutes or whatnot. But if he's able to pull that off, you know, and I'm sure I've seen other, you know, styles of rapping going on here where they can pull it off. You know, I'm sure you can too.
Shit,
right? You put your mind to it. I mean, I'm sure you could do it. That'd be a long ass reaction video, especially because I break stuff down.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, as long as people are watching, I mean, that's all that really matters. We're in here, 35 minutes in. He came here, man. We just straight up sat down, pressed record, and I was like, all right, cool. First question. You know, it's time to go. It's time to get stuff done. I'm dying here, man. I'm dying here. Yeah. So I mean, I'm out of questions here. But do you got anything you want to say? Any shout outs or anything? I mean, feel free, bro.
I mean, yeah, you know, shout out my cousin, Ralphie G, out there in Texas, you know, doing his thing. Shout out Lil Phantom, my boy Eminem Mafia and shit. When our shit up, you know what I mean? We putting in this work. Ain't nobody doing it like us out here. I'm about to release a new song on the 31st. It's Evolve. It speaks for itself, Evolve. You know? So, y'all be tuned out for that. Got a big music video coming out with that one too by my boy Zay. Shout out Zay Visuals. Shout out Red Tape District. You know, making traction out there in the city. So y'all be tuned out for that. Yeah, man. God bless. That's all it is, man.
We're gonna go ahead and promote this video as best as possible because it's the first interview. I know a lot of you watching this. If you have seen my channel, I do nothing but reaction videos. So this is completely a little different. But we're gonna go ahead and make sure some people watch this, you know, because it's impactful, and I'm sure most of you that want to start rapping or, you know, want to learn what it's like in the mind of, you know, someone like this that goes through the engineering process, the lyric process, and, you know, putting all the stuff together in harmony, right? And like you said, everyone's different. You know, for some people, they can record something start to finish, release it 2 weeks later. I mean, there's some people that could do that. But there's some people like, you know, Mockton over here. They want to take time, right? You want to make sure that every beat has something. You know, nothing's missed. Everything's working the way it's supposed to. And I even called out one of the rappers. I did a reaction video to him. His name was G-Mo Ski. And I actually made a comment in the video, and he actually replied. You know, he's a decently big rapper. And I go, hey, bro, I bet it took you about a year for this song to come out. And he goes back and comments. He's like, yeah, bro, it took a year. But that's what it is for some people. I mean, I know, right? I know because I'm still working on songs that are in my vault for like, you know, 2 years now. But when the day comes and it comes out, you know, it's the same thing like he's doing here, quality, right? It's going to be that quality over the garbage. I've released, you know, songs they're mid as hell. I'm not gonna lie, they're mid as hell. But it also helps me get my foot in the door. It also helps me get a feel for the land. You know, it makes me learn something, which we're all doing every day, right? There's always something new to learn. But we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. I mean, if you want to, he said shout out Lil Phantom. I know Lil Phantom's he's not too far from here, right?
Nah, he from around here too, man.
Yeah, so I mean, if he wants to come in here too, I don't mind. I think I reacted to one of his songs too. Which I found him through Irvin because I worked with Irvin.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I was his boss at one point. No shade. No, but they're all cool people, man. It's just everybody that's, you know, it's all love in the music industry. I just got a sweater from a guy that I reacted to for you guys. I'm going to be wearing it hopefully in one of these next few videos. It says more music, less violence. And I think that's what a message that should be pushed. I think this generation of people under us, we're kind of like the last hope. We're in that middle generation of like, are we either going to be dumb or are we actually going to use our intelligence? And because past us is kind of like, I don't know what they're doing and I don't care to see what they're doing because they're just not up to where we are, right? But man, I appreciate you coming out.
Sure.
You know, spending the time. We'll go ahead and see if we can get Lil Phantom in here, and we'll see if we can get some other artists. If they're not close to me, because not every artist is going to be close to me, you know, I'll do a Zoom call or something. We'll figure it out. But in the meantime, you guys remember he said song on the 31st. So, was it Evolve?
Yeah, Evolve, song on the 31st. Got a music video coming out. Shout out Zay Visuals again, you know. And, yeah, it's just a marathon, man. It's not a sprint. Enjoy it. Yeah. If you ever get started, don't start making music videos, start making music, whatever, bro. Just enjoy the process, because before you know it, shit could end. You know, you never know how much time you got over here. So
Every day is a new opportunity, right? It's a blessed day, and if you don't seize the day, it's gonna pass you by. And unfortunately, this is how many lives everyone gets, just one. And if you don't use it to the max, and you don't try new things and branch out, you're really gonna be behind. All right. And before I sneeze here, I'm gonna end the video. I'm gonna end the video. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to hit that like. Be sure to hit that subscribe. I'll put it up there for you.
sorry,
And we'll get out of here. All right, man. Appreciate you coming by, and we'll hope to do this again. Peace.